This is Vlogtober, day 6. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a few things. But first I wanted to talk about my fall lineup of TV shows that I'm going to be watching this October. Because all my favorite shows started back up in October. And the new show that I'm actually starting to watch actually started at the end of September, which was Scream Queens. It's by the director of like American Horror Story. To me it feels like kind of like Legally Blonde meets American Horror Story. Okay, but it's kind of very satire and like corny, but anyway, you just have to see it. It's crazy. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, the lady from Halloween, and like for you younger people, Freaky Friday with Lindsay, the mom from Lindsay Lohan's Freaky Friday. Okay. And then the next show that came out was The Leftovers on HBO that premiered Sunday, and that's a really good show. It's kind of like about all these people disappeared and nobody know where they went. They think they were raptured and they're still trying to figure out why they were left behind. They're called The Leftovers, and there's like bad people were raptured, so they say bad people left, good people left, so they can't understand, you know, what the selection was about. So it's like life after a bunch of people disappeared and trying to understand things, and like all these crazy groups started. After that happened, people stopped believing in God, stopped going to church. Some people started going to church more. It's just how the aftermath would be if a bunch of people just vanished all of a sudden. Okay, so the next show that's going to air, one of my favorite shows, The Vampire Diaries, starts back up on the 8th, which is tomorrow, Thursday. I love Vampire Diaries. I don't know, I just got hooked last year and I watched all of them on Netflix or on online, and I got hooked on that show. Oh my god. I got hooked on Vampire Diaries, and then after I got hooked on the Vampire Diaries, I got hooked on the originals, which also airs the same night but at a later time, which is tomorrow. So the Vampire Diaries, of course, is about vampires. There's witchcraft in it, and then the originals is about vampires and witches in New Orleans. So y'all know that's like right up my alley. And then the next show, I'm looking at my calendar, y'all, if y'all wonder why I'm squinting. I'm getting new glasses today. I have a doctor's, well, I'm not getting them today, but I'm going for my optometrist appointment today so I can get some updated glasses. I've been wanting some different frames, like some cat, like, you know, a little cat eye or something like that. Something more stylish, because these, you know, you see how they're all scratched? If y'all can't see, they're super scratched, and I'm getting the kind that can turn into shades when I go outside, because I usually wear contacts and I'm just over them, so I'm just gonna get me some good glasses. Okay, so the next show that airs is sorry, I got off key, is The Evil Dead. Oh, Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is like a show that's a spin-off of the Evil Dead series, the movies, the cult classic horror movies from the 80s, The Evil Dead, and they had the Army of Darkness. Well, on Stars, you have to have cable. On Stars, on Halloween, October 31st, Ash versus the Evil Dead is premiering. So I love The Evil Dead. That was my favorite horror movie when I was a kid. Not because it was super scary, but because it was funny, weird, scary. I love the special effects in it. They were gory, and the people actually took the time to like create with their hands the special effects. They weren't like all computer generated like they have now, which I hate. So if y'all haven't checked out The Evil Dead, and you have like on demand, if you have Comcast on demand, they're playing it right now, like in the Halloween or horror movie sections. Just check out The Evil Dead and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, it's based on, they go to this log cabin in the middle of the woods. The previous owner was like researching demons in the Necronomicon, and he left the book there or a recording there or something, and you know, all hell breaks loose basically. So y'all need to see that. If y'all have never seen The Living Dead, please, I mean not The Living Dead, The Evil Dead, please watch it. Okay, if you don't do anything else this October, watch The Evil Dead. Okay, Next, next I want to talk about, how much time do I have? Okay, I'm gonna do a whole nother series on this, but the ancestor money, yeah, I'm gonna do, not a series, I'm gonna do a whole nother video, so just stay tuned for that, because someone did ask me to cover that, but I'm gonna just do a separate video on that. But I have a mortuary story today, and let me see, I've given y'all, I have never given y'all the grossness, so let me give y'all some of the grossness. Now, I mean, no disrespect to anyone who's just lost like a recent loved one, so click off if you're going to be like emotional about this. This is just for the people that are like kind of curious about the embalming process. I'm going to tell you what they actually do, the best to my ability to explain it so that you can understand it, because like we use scientific words, but I'm going to try to break it down in like layman terms. Okay. So the first step in embalming is undressing the body. And there's an embalming table. It's just like a flat table, and there's like a little dip in the table where all the fluids drain, and then there's a hole going to a pipe that's separate from the normal sewer system. It's like a medical waste sewer system. Okay. And they have to have that in the funeral home. Okay, so the first step is undressing the body, washing the body. There's a hose, and we just use soap. A lot of funeral homes just use, okay, when I say death or dying is one of the most humiliating things you're going to go through, believe me when I say it. Some funeral homes use dishwashing liquid to bathe the bodies. Okay, so they have the little hose, and they're just running the water over the hose, getting the whole body wet. They take some soap, dishwasher liquid, or liquid soap. Let's just say liquid soap, just to make it nice. Some will just go get you some Palmolive. Okay, so they put the liquid soap, and then they wash the body. They have to lift all the legs up, turn the body, so get underneath. And of course, you know that sometimes when you die, you do go to the restroom on yourself, because the muscles and the organs, you know, stop working, so they just release everything. So sometimes you got to clean, you know, defecation. So if y'all know what that means, it's just body waste. So you're cleaning that. You have to get everything clean. You're wearing gloves from head to toe. You have on like a surgeon mask, a little shower cap thingy. The shower cap thingy's on your shoes. You have on an apron and like a white coat. So you're basically covered. Okay. Some people wear the goggles. Okay, so washing the body, getting everything clean, and then the next step is finding an artery to embalm. So usually they embalm right here. They make a slit right here, and they find your artery right here in the end, and then they find your vein. So the artery is about the size. It's like it's the size of like a macaroni noodle, and so it looks just like a macaroni noodle. Okay, so they locate that and they pull it out, and they have a tool that they insert. First you have to snip it like halfway, not all the way because you'll cut it in half, but you have to snip it about halfway. So it's like you're taking a noodle and just snipping half of it and leaving like a little bit attached, and then they stick what they call a cannula inside the artery, because it's really thin. It's a metal tube attached to the embalming fluid machine, and that's how the embalming fluid gets into your arteries. So after they turn on the embalming machine, the fluid goes into your artery and pushes all your blood out through your vein. So your vein is actually draining all the blood out of your body, because that vein has been like cut so that it can drain, and it drains into that embalming table groove. So you get to see all the blood come out the body. And once the blood starts running a little bit clear in the color of the embalming fluid, that means everything's has been pushed out and it's full of embalming fluid now. So they stop. And then they take the artery and they stitch it up to close it back, and then they put it back in your neck, and then they suture your neck up, and they put like some glue on there over the stitch, and then they put a piece of cotton a piece of cotton, and usually it's, you know, your clothing's going to cover it. So the next step is, this is if you haven't been autopsied. If you've been autopsied, it's a whole nother game, y'all. Then they come and they open your eyeballs, and they stick these, like, they look like giant contact lenses with like teeth on the top of them, so that when they close your eyelid, it grips it so your eye won't pop open. Because when you die, your skin gets dehydrated, and your eyelids kind of shrink up, so they look like they're gonna pop open. So they moisturize with like Vaseline or cream, and then they pull your eyeball over this big giant contact, and it kind of grips it closed. Okay. And then the next thing they do is they go up your nose with a needle, a curved needle, and a string, and they go through your septum, like you get your septum pierced, and then they come out the other side, like, yeah. And then they go, I'm sorry, this is the nasty part. So they go in and they come out. Instead of coming through the other side of the nostril, they come out through the inside of your mouth, like this. And then they take the needle and they stitch right here under your teeth to make a purse, like to close it. This keeps your mouth closed and your jaw from hanging open. So they tie that. Now your mouth is closed. And they don't sew your lips together. That's what they do. They go inside so you can't see where the string is, and they close it like a purse. Okay. And then the string's just like hanging in here. Yeah. And then sometimes if the lips keep popping open, they will super glue. Okay. So that's the face. If you're a man, it's like they'll try to shave you, but you can still get like razor bumps or razor rash after you get shaven, even if you're dead. So they have to put a lot of makeup on. And okay, so next we're getting to the gross part, y'all. So next they have to aspirate the entire thoracic and pelvic area, which means they have to take this long hollow needle about this big. It looks like the liposuction needle, but it's thicker. So they take this long needle, and you gotta get it up like this over the stomach. And this is what y'all gotta do. Like if you're more, you have to stab the body like really hard. You gotta go to puncture the stomach. You hear a pop. It go, and then you turn on the machine and it starts sucking. It's hooked up to a hose, and it starts sucking all the stuff out of the stomach, all the stuff out of the intestines, the heart, the lungs, and you just have to like maneuver it all up through the body, and like you're sucking basically all the liquid out of each organ. You have to stab each organ inside while you're inside the body. So you have to stab each organ and suck everything out of it. And you have to stab the intestines and suck everything out of it. And then you have to stab the bladder and suck everything out of it. And for men, I'm so sorry, they have to go down and stab the testicles from inside and suck all the stuff out of the testicles. And then you pull it out once you feel like you've gotten all the stuff out. And there'll be some like stuff dripping out of it, so you gotta be careful. And then they just like make a purse suture, like go around the hole that you punched, and they just tie it up. And then after that, I know that's gross, right? That's why I said it's very humiliating. And then after that, they have to pack all body orifices. And when I say pack all body orifices, I mean they have to stick cotton, like loads of cotton, up each hole in your body. Yes, ears, nose, anus, vagina. So they use these long pliers, these long tweezers, like this long, and they get like a big old thing of cotton, like they have like a cotton on a roll, like toilet paper. They get a big old thing of cotton, and they lift the leg up, kind of like a pelvic exam, but they lift the leg up and just start shoving it in there, shoving it in there, shoving it in there. And they do the same with the anus, shoving it in there, shoving it in there. And then they put some up your nose. And then they put like these plastic underwear on you so you don't leak anything out. And then they start to put your clothes on. So y'all see why I want to be cremated? Yes. Do you want that done? Like, if you've already had that done to your loved one, I'm sorry that the process is so intrusive, but that's what it is. Okay, so my time's about to run out. Happy Vlogtober. Sorry this was a gross one. Thumbs up if you like the gross ones and if you want more.